Hello, Cancer. This is your reading for April 2017 for love and relationships. So I'm shuffling for a little while longer, for just a few more seconds. And then I'll start the reading. Your first card is Lovers in Reverse. Lovers has been showing up for just about everybody this month. Sometimes it's been upright, and then more often than not, out of the 3 times the Lovers card has shown up, it's been upright once, and the other 2 times it was reversed. So some of you signs, astrological signs, are having some turbulence here. I have the Empress in reverse. And the Empress can always mean relationship issues as well, because she's about sensuality and love and material joy and happiness and prosperity. She can even represent a mother figure or pregnancy, family life. I have an 8 of Swords. This is 4 of Swords. Now remember, you're water. So we'll see if any cups start to show up. I have an Ace of Swords. That is interesting. 9 of Swords reversed. There's definitely something going on here for you, Cancer. 5 of Swords. The Emperor. I have a 6 of Cups reversed. So now we have some water energy, but these swords, this is a very strong spread as far as what energies are coming through with these swords, which represents air. But also, you have a Lovers and Empress both reversed. And these are definitely the cards of love and companionship, unity. Definitely there's a spiritual energy as well, that when things come together, when things have balance and harmony, that comes about from this spiritual connection as well. And as you know, once again, this Empress, sometimes I see her as the Diva card. I see her as a woman who's loved and adored and has influence. But it's also her being balanced. She's a mother. She represents the mother energy. She represents the nurturing and the love and taking care of family. So when I see that Empress card reversed next to the Lovers, very difficult relationship energies. And for some of you who are mothers, there might even be some difficulty balancing your life with your children and your family and your marriage. So yeah, there are some of you who are probably having a little bit of difficulty in your family and marriages. And then for some of you, the Empress can definitely represent just plain old relationship issues. Okay? And so these 2 cards, and then your 3rd major arcana card is the Emperor. And the Emperor represents authority, but it also represents an authority that has control, and there are things that you can't control. There are obstacles that are coming in your way that you can't control, that are very difficult to resolve. So the Emperor does bring order. It does bring stability, but it also means limitations as well. That the type of limitations in a relationship that can signify, for instance, it can signify or represent a third party interfering in a relationship. It can represent another limitation is having a long distance relationship. Okay. So there is responsibility and balance, and that's definitely the positive aspect of the Emperor. It's not reversed, but to have that responsibility and balance, things must come under control. There must be strong boundaries established. And I kind of feel like that actually might happen in your future. So yeah, things a little bit chaotic here in the relationship with the Lovers and Empress reversed. And the swords, you have 5 swords in your spread, which represent air. And water and air, they're both fluid. They're not structured energies. Water, like rivers or lakes, they don't stay in one place. Air, which can represent the wind, it can represent our thinking, it can represent our clarity. Those things never stay in the same place. They're just they represent that type of energy where we feel and we think, and we have this intuition, and we take everything in, we try to think about things. But when we get all these swords, there's definitely some conflict. There's definitely a little bit of and I'm just taking a second here, a few seconds, just to pull in what I'm feeling here and articulating it. But the swords are all about our judgments, the way we think, the way we perceive reality. It's about our anxiety. It's about our fears. It's about our communication and how we communicate with other people. So it seems like there was a big roadblock in your life, especially with this major arcana, and especially with this Ace of Swords in the middle, to where there's been a big roadblock for some of you in your relationships. Communication issues. It could even be that you and your partner are very stressed out. There's been a lot of difficulty, and those obstacles have come between you and your partner. So when I go back to this first row in the past, lots of relationship issues. This 8 of Swords means feeling trapped, feeling burdened, feeling that you don't have control. It also means a need to take off the blindfold and try to get some perspective. Okay? And that's definitely the case in lots of long-term relationships that some of you have been in. But it can also represent just you, Cancer, feeling trapped, feeling that, if you've been in a long-term relationship or if you're in a marriage, you definitely feel that, can I just have a good week here in this relationship? And there's been lots of changes and chaos, and you're just trying to pull everything together. So 5 swords in your spread. When we get to the middle, nothing but swords. These are... we start off with a 4 of Swords. And this card actually represents a retreat, taking a break. Sometimes it can mean someone that you're connected to is hiding from you. They're not communicating. Sometimes in relationships it represents a breakup. And then the Ace of Swords, which is in the middle of your spread, which is sort of giving me a sense of what the underlying issue is. You just want peace and clarity, and you don't want to feel fearful. You want to be able to chill, relax in this relationship or this situation. You want everything to be resolved. But when we get this 9 of Swords here, it means that maybe some of you are dealing with a lot of drama. When this is upright, it's definitely about having anxiety and fears and a little bit of distress. Okay? But when it is in reverse, that anxiety kind of starts to get under control. It can also mean that there are people who are sucking psychically. There could be people who are bringing you down and taking away your energy. And you could just be feeling drained. You could be feeling depressed, some of you. And so, yeah, I'm getting a sense that some of you Cancer people with all these swords are going through a difficult transition in your life. Things might be going good, but it seems like there's been a big obstacle. Going back to the marriage, I keep feeling that some of you are in marriages where you're not communicating as much, you're not in love as much as you used to be. And so when we get to this future, remember the Emperor. This Five of Swords is very important because this Five of Swords is about defeat, someone winning, someone losing. It's about defeat. And sometimes it's about this illusion that you're humiliated and, maybe you didn't win a particular battle. Maybe you didn't come out on top. But also in relationships, this Five of Swords means you've been defeated a little bit and you have to get past that. When this is in reverse, it can definitely mean someone's holding a grudge. Someone is very angry and they're not letting go of that situation. Maybe it's you, but it can mean dealing with someone who's very authoritative, who has to have their way all the time. Which leads me to that Emperor. And that's why it's possible that when I look at the Emperor, I am looking at stability, but I'm also looking at authority. I'm looking at a dominant energy of a person who has to have it their way, and maybe you had to compromise. When I get this Cups, this is your element here. This Six of Cups is actually about fond memories of the past. Sometimes when I see it in different contexts, depending on the cards that are surrounding it, it can mean missing someone and having wonderful memories of the past. And then when it is in reverse, the issue becomes a disconnect from the past, even feeling sad, not just about memories, but feeling sad about that previous relationship. Okay, you're losing that emotional connection here. Sometimes people ask me, does this mean someone's coming back? Usually with the Six of Cups, it means someone's missing you or someone wants to come back or will come back. But when this is in reverse, it can definitely mean a disconnect with the past, that you're no longer looking back on those memories and feeling happy. You're no longer, and it can even mean how you feel about your family as well, because the Six of Cups can also refer to the memories of your family in the past as well. And so this future is sort of telling me that you went through a very difficult conflict. You will be going through a very difficult conflict about a situation you can't control, an obstacle that's going to come your way, and it's going to cause a little bit of an emotional disconnect. But I don't think, Cancer, you should think, oh, I'm never going to get past it. I think you will. You only have 3 major arcana, so I'm not seeing a lot of, I apologize for that. Those 3 cards, we had 10 of Swords, 3 of Cups, and Pentacles. I'm going to put those out here a little bit. I'm going to put these to the side. But you're going to get past it. It just seems like you're going through a very difficult transition. As I said, sometimes in a marriage, especially if you've been married for a while and you're way past the honeymoon period, that's when you kind of lose that spark. You lose that motivation and passion that you used to have in the relationship. And that's just not for marriages, of course. That's for any of you who've been in a long-term relationship. So this is about a happy home, renewing your joy, and figuring out a way past those obstacles with these other cards. And I think you're going to find that again. I'm still going to pull out an outcome card. Okay, so this is Nine of Pentacles reversed. And sometimes it can mean trouble in the home, because this is all about prosperity, not just material prosperity, but a love of life, happiness, and joy. And I keep getting the feeling that some of you in this relationship might be living with someone, as I said, married to someone, and there are issues in the home that are coming up in your marriage or in your relationship that are going to be very troublesome to resolve, a big hiccup. And sometimes it can mean someone losing their job. It can also mean someone else who's having the problems and the obstacles in the relationship, and that means you have to deal with them too. But as I said, I feel like that's temporary. And this could also represent, because it's your outcome card, it can also represent, it also feels like the tarot is telling you, and I'm just feeling this out. I'm trying to look into what this is meaning for some of you. It also means that you might not feel as confident. You might have a little bit of fears about whether your marriage, I get a sense that for some of you who are in relationships, and I don't know why marriage keeps popping up for me, but some of you might actually feel that this marriage or relationship is not going to work out. Okay? That things get a little bit shaky in this relationship. But at the same time, I feel that there's still nothing to worry about, that everything is still going to work out okay with these other three cards. The Ten of Cups and the Three of Cups are definitely your energy here. And this is about joy and happiness, all those good things. And so I feel like the tarot is saying, yeah, this is only temporary, but you're going to figure them out a little bit later. But it is also a matter of weathering the storm. And because you have all these swords, it also tells me that this is more about you trying to figure out to overcome your anxiety. And that does happen a lot with water signs. Sometimes when our cups are reversed, or your cups are reversed, it means your emotions are reversed. And that happens a lot with Cancers. You are very private. You have lots of feelings. You do feel a lot, but at the same time, you're very careful about who you trust. And I get a feeling that you're going through a period of withdrawal to where you really do need to get some emotional healing here. You're feeling worn out. You're tired of figuring out the problems. You're tired of the distance or the communication issues, and maybe you feel like you don't have as much reassurance from this other person as much as you'd like. And that's more than anything of what I'm seeing, that there's an imbalance here that's affecting how you're feeling emotionally, but it's also causing you a lot of anxiety, a lot of frustration, a little bit of depression, a need to just withdraw and not deal with people for a while, or deal with the relationship for a while. Okay, especially when you have the Lovers and the Empress reversed. But I do feel that this will turn around, and that even by the time the middle of April or the beginning of May, things are going to start getting a little bit smoother for you. Okay, even as you approach summer. So don't give up. Don't lose hope. It's just something that you're going to have to be patient. I think you need to take care of yourself. I think you need to protect your own emotional energy and your psychic energy, because most water signs are very intuitive, and not let people drain you of that emotional energy, and not make you feel that you're trying to keep all the plates spinning in the relationship. So that was my reading for you, Cancer. As always, thank you all for your support, your donations, requesting the readings. I really appreciate it. And I hope to talk to you soon. And some of you have made lots of requests, like, do you have a phone? I do have a phone line to do my phone readings. But some of you, it's like some of you will email me and say, well, are you available now? Can I talk to you now? Sometimes you can make an appointment, but I know that some of you might have to make an appointment a day in advance, because I usually book, my appointment book fills up pretty quickly. And it would be nice for some of you to just have unstructured, where you don't have to make an appointment. You can just call me at a particular time and just get a reading and not have to go through making the appointments. You can just call and, make your payment and just talk to me. So I am working on that. I will have a lot more time in the future to do phone readings. So I am going to look into that, and I'll keep you posted. So thanks once again. Enjoy your spring. Take care of yourself, and I will talk to you soon. And I'll see you on YouTube. So I wish you love and light.